Talk about one of the things that I have been thinking about for quite some time. I mention this quite often in stream when I get asked this question, like what the best perk in Dead by Daylight is. But yes, I do think it is a survivor perk. If you've been through some of my streams or you've seen some of my videos, you probably already know what I'm going to say. And this isn't going to be a video where I ramble for 30 minutes and, finally tell you what it is at the end. It's Sprint Burst. I think far and away the best perk in the video game, even when you take into consideration killer perks and all the other survivor perks, is Sprint Burst. First of all, it is a perk that you are going to be able to use more often in a match. You can run around the map sprinting from generator to generator, generator to hook. You can, oftentimes I will find myself getting Sprint Burst back mid-chase, which is an awesome thing to have. Sometimes it happens and I'm not even paying attention. I'm so zoned in on the chase that I just get Sprint Burst back and I'm like, oh, there's a speed boost. I guess I just extend the chase or make it to the next tile. You can 99 your Sprint Burst actually so easily. If you're really worried about, holding in Sprint Burst or making sure you don't have to walk around and be slow, combine it with Fixated. Fixated is a great perk to combine with Sprint Burst. Vigil's also a great perk. Sometimes I run a build somewhat similar to this. Obviously Vigil is good with any exhaustion perk, but Fixated is awesome to use with Sprint Burst. I use this in a variety of different builds, and it also kind of helps you fix that issue of I don't know if I should be walking around or holding it in or just sprinting. But what I will say, if you want to use Sprint Burst, if you want to get better, use it on command. Use it when you get it. Use it when you have it available. The only time I really pay attention to when my exhaustion is coming off cooldown and should I what I should do with Sprint Burst is if I'm working on a generator, somebody is hooked and my exhaustion is approaching the point where it's falling off. I'm like, okay, my gen is only 50. Somebody is in chase, that person's on the hook. I should probably go for the unhook, or I might have to. So let me get off the gen before my Sprint Burst gets back because of exhaustion, and let me essentially 99 my Sprint Burst and run to the hook. So then that way, when I unhook the survivor, I can Sprint Burst back. Or if somebody unhooks that survivor, I can just Sprint Burst back to my gen. Or I can maybe use Sprint Burst, going for the unhook in a way where, it kind of works around the killer. Or I can maybe use Sprint Burst to go hover for a save, for a flashlight save. Which are the only times where I'm really paying attention. But I get so many uses out of Sprint Burst. I can't really stress it enough. I've talked to a lot of people with, quite a few hours. I have way too many hours in this game. Yeah, don't put that on the screen, please.